Assalamu alaikum, peace and blessings, peace and blessings. I pray that all is well and you all are in the best of health and spirits. It is your sister and brother, Sean Ali, and Sister DeNise Renee Muhammad coming on for another episode of our Health and Wellness Power Hour. The Health and Wellness Power Hour. So as you come in, go ahead and share the video. Share the video. Sharing is caring. Sharing is caring. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Sean.
Walaikum assalam. I just made this board worse, man. God, this writing been on the board for so long, it almost became not erasing no more.
Permanent.
Yeah. Because I haven't used this in so long. So the last time I used it, that's what
Right.
was up there. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah, yeah. Tonight we're gonna have a
Awesome show.
interesting opportunity to look at. Almost forgot how to spell it. Our lymphatic system,
Lymphatic health,
right? And
the
lymph,
healing and wellness.
lymph means water like. So when you see that word lymphatic system, lymph means water like because it's literally it's almost translucent if you were to view it, right? Versus our arteries and our veins, where you can see that with the naked eye. But the lymph is supposed to be water-like. Nowadays, the condition of our lymphatic system and such is not normal. It's not at its normal operating spectrum, right? So
Mm-hmm.
tonight we get a chance to look at that because we hear, and if, like you said last week, Sister DeNise, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, going into the Bible, right? And we always hear that repetitive theme of, knowledge, knowing more, and expanding our scope, and those who provide you a diameter of information, things like that. But it's like, okay, we don't study anatomy. So when it comes to health and wellness, that's where we lose our life at. See, it's difference between getting scammed and you losing $5,000, or you losing a house, or you losing a car and a tax lien, a house lien. So it's different because your lifespan can determine whether or not you get that stuff back or not. You can outlive that stuff. You feel what I'm saying? But when we don't know anatomy, that's where we lose our life at because it's easy to go through an imbalance. But if I don't know anatomy and I'm starting to feel something, I'm the first person to diagnose myself. Right? You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah. Hey, I don't feel good. There you go. See what I'm saying? I don't feel good. I feel good. I don't. Right? So we start with one of them two gears.
Right.
And from there, if I say I don't feel good, now I'm trying to treat myself, right? But if I don't know anatomy, see, now I could be confused. I could think normal operating procedures is something wrong. So we look at our lymphatic system and we could get fed a lot of misinformation. The lymphatic system is not food based. You hear and it's not a herb, it's not a supplement, it's not food based. It's not. Okay, so the main job of the lymphatic system is number one function is to prevent edema, swelling.
Right.
So when there's any swelling in your body, the function or the system that's responsible for preventing edema is our lymphatic system. That watery like substance that's collecting and making it right. So that's what edema is. It's that watery like substance that's collecting in one place. Right?
Got you.
So, okay, now, so that's the number one job of the lymphatic system. It's not a garbage disposal. It's not none of that foolishness. That's what our intestines, our bowels is the garbage disposal. You feel what I'm saying? So when you look at where swelling occurs, when you look at that anatomy, right? But yeah, exactly. When you look at the anatomy of the circulatory system, right? You'll see the heart, and you'll see something like this, where it's right, the veins and the arteries coming to the heart and from the heart, right?
Right.
And this, it would be a circle here. This is the capillaries. That's where, so the capillaries is where the swelling is at. So in the capillaries, where you have the veins and you have the arteries, they meet at, right?
Yes.
And things are they're diffused. Material leaves the arteries and material goes into the veins, right? Mainly oxygen and CO2 is leaving out, right? But you have other things that's coming out. This area right here is called interstitial. Damn, I ran out of space. Sorry. Interstitial. And stitial only means in between. So it's the space in between, because there's cells here. Right? So it's cells that are waiting to pick up what's being released from the arteries. Does that make sense? And the waste that's coming out of the cells is waiting to be picked up in the veins and carried away. Does that make sense? But
yes,
the veins and arteries can only so if we have out of 100% of the fluid in our bodies, the veins and arteries can only carry about 80%. So that extra 20%, it would be in this interstitial space. It would be swelling up because it would be constantly collecting. So the body has what is called lymphatic vessels. And they're always usually green when you look at the anatomy models, right? So one of the duties of the first function of the lymphatic system is to prevent edema. So it collects whatever fluid is in this interstitial space that's left over, it collects it and transports it away back into circulation. That's the number one function of our lymphatic system. Easy peasy to collect that space, so when the lymphatic system backs up, it can't collect this interstitial fluid. So what happens? Edema or swelling, bloating. So when we look, because the lymphatic system is not food based. Now the arteries and the veins, they are being pumped by the heart. So the heart is pumping blood and food through the arteries and is pulling blood and material from the veins. Our lymphatic system does not have, so it's moving off of gravity and muscle contractions. So edema, one of the main causes of edema is sitting still too long. Right? Okay. Because you're not moving. You're not contracting the muscles, so we're not moving the lymphatic system. So that fluid in the interstitial space, it has the ability to collect, which is edema. Now, as this, when we look, all of the lymphatic vessels, they are connected to lymph nodes. So when this, as it's carrying this interstitial fluid away, right, it's going to a lymph node. So the number 2 function of our lymphatic system is immune responses. Okay, now, when it's bringing this interstitial fluid here, what is it doing? It's inspecting it. It's digesting it. It's looking at, breaking it down. It's cells in here, right? It's a whole bunch of different material that it pulled in here, and it's examining it. It's studying it to see, it could be viruses in here, white blood cells, and wherever that area is at on the body. Okay, so the lymph node is saying, okay, oh, right here, there's something going. Can you hear me?
Yes.
It will initiate an immune. Yeah, it will initiate an immune response based on what it's studying. So, and it will send white cells, phagocytes, T cells, because the T cells and the B cells are in the lymphatic system. But the first immune response usually comes from the lymphatic system, because all of that material is being studied. Cancer. Now, here's the caveat. When we don't exercise, we know that it causes edema, right?
Right.
Now, as this fluid, as this material is inside of this lymph node, if we don't exercise and move the lymphatic system, this is where lymphomia comes from. And these lymph nodes become infected or weak or damaged because we're not moving. We're not causing muscle contractions, so the lymphatic fluid isn't moving. And wherever it gets stuck at, now those lymph nodes, those vessels become attacked. They become infected. They become cancerous, right? See, so when we are looking at, okay, the duties of the lymphatic system is movement based. All we have to do is just get up and just move. You don't have to go. Well, you can go somewhere, but the more movement you do, the more muscles we control. That it moves that system, and we prevent edema. Our immune responses are quicker. See, our immune responses are quicker. Listen. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, now, this really quick, we going into the third major duty of our lymphatic system is in digestion. Can y'all see this? Is in digestion. Okay. Now, when we go to our digestive system, right? When food leaves the stomach, this is this C-section. This is the duodenum. Duodenum, it depends on who your teacher is and how they pronounce it. It's pronounced several different ways. Duodenum, right? Most digestion occurs in the first part of the small intestines. This is the jejunum. This is the ileum. By the time it gets to the ileum, it's just water and a few nutrients that's left. So as it's going into the ascending colon, transverse colon, descending colon, it's ready to be made into a stool. The last bit of water is extracted and it's ready to be removed. But when we look inside of these intestines, right here, inside of the intestines, right? It's not smooth. Inside of the intestines, if we do a cross section of it, It's lined with little hair-like projections, and these are called villi.
Villi.
Yep, villi. And this is where, as food and material is going through the intestinal tract, it goes and it's attracted to these villi and it's absorbed inside. So when we go inside the villi and we look at one of these tentacles, right? We have veins and we have arteries. So we know arteries is carrying blood and nutrition to the intestines. The veins is carrying food, deoxygenated blood away. So the food that we eat is being transported in the veins. So when you eat, because the arteries are going too. So the food that we eat is coming here. So as that food gets inside that villi, it's absorbed into the veins, except fats. The molecule of fat is too big to fit inside the vein. Listen, lipids, dietary lipids is too big to fit inside the vein. So the body has developed what is called this part of the lymphatic system is called a lacteal, right? It's called a lacteal. And its specific job is to absorb lipids. So when this part of the lymphatic system is not watery, it's white. It's a milky white. It's called chilo, right? Chilo. This is chilo. This is and it's milky white. And because the dietary lipids are transported. So the three major functions of our lymphatic system is not a garbage disposal. I don't know why, because them people aren't. They must have skipped anatomy class, man. But the number one job is to prevent edema, to collect that interstitial fluid that is going to always be present. It's always present, right? Now, as that fluid is being transported to the lymph nodes, it's introduced to the second, which is an immune response, because it's going to study all of that material and it's going to initiate the necessary responses. This is why we need a functioning lymphatic system, because not only is it swelling, but it interferes with our immune response. And now, if we're not moving, now this material is stuck here. And that lymph node now will be attacked, right? Because that material isn't leaving. So and then the third is the lacteal, that part of the lymphatic system. That's because dietary fats are transported away from the intestinal tract through the lymphatic system. So when we're not moving, but we have a chance for that interstitial fluid to collect edema. We have a chance for those lymph nodes to be infected, immune responses to be impaired. Digestion of dietary fats, they're not moving. So if you have fat in your diet, which most of us do, it's transported through our lymphatic system. So if we aren't getting up and moving, man, and guess where all of that stuff has to go? Look, if you look at our anatomy, okay, this is the right hand. From right on top of your shoulder to right under your right arm. This is the right side of the lymphatic system. Mm-hmm. And it's all the rest of your body is fighting for one on the left side, right? So this is the importance of having a great functioning lymphatic system, because all the way from your toes, that lymphatic system, it goes into the thoracic duct, but then it goes from the thoracic duct to the subclavian vein. All of this fluid, except for the right arm, is it has to be moved to your subclavian vein. That's the weakest pressure point for that fluid to be reintroduced back into circulation. So when we look at why people have to get a lymphatic massage, that only thing that person is doing is manipulating that the path of the lymphatic muscles or vessels, right? That's it. So, but if you get up and if you sit, okay, wherever you at, whatever position you are in, wiggle your toes. I'm doing it. Wiggle your toes. Okay. Those muscle contractions is causing your lymphatic system to move. Now, like wiggle your feet. See, now we're moving it from our toes. Twist your ankles, right? Twist your ankles, because you have to. They don't move. The body moves off of muscle contractions. So whenever we cause our muscles to contract, we're moving our lymphatic system. So we're moving it from our feet. We have to bring it here. We have to bring it up. If we have gravity, gravity is pulling everything down.
Yeah, right.
That's why edema starts in your feet, because gravity is keeping it there and you're not moving. So we move it from our toes, we move our feet, wiggle your ankles. Now hit them calves. Do some calf raises. And then come on up. You got your knees, your thighs, right, and the back of you flex them. You don't have to go nowhere. Just flex them, like the bodybuilders do. Flex them. Now you're getting up to your hips and do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it is.
Is that why they had us doing that?
See.
Right. We all did
stopped
things.
we started with the they have because those are
doing it
right, but those are physical. They know because they went to college. They what I mean. So they know how the body works.
Yes.
Right. They're just teaching children, so they have to teach. We get taught as children.
Right.
But if you're not laughing while you're doing it, then you're not getting serotonin. You're in fight or flight. So you shut down your lymphatic system by being in stress. No, we want to laugh, man. Right. You feel what I'm saying? So when you get up to your abs, you want to do the flat because you're bringing everything up to here. From your fingers, you got to bring them. You got to do the worm. Look, see, I'm bringing it. I'm starting at my fingertip. Watch this. Bang! Woo! Do that, Michael Jackson. Woo! Hey, do that kick. This is DeNise. I have a problem moving. I have a problem getting up. I have the time. It's not that I don't have the time or the opportunity or the place. I'm not necessarily motivated.
You're not motivated, so you lack motivation.
Yes, but I don't need necessarily a coach. I just need something to give me a pick-me-up, if you will.
Yes. Lemon essential oil is a good pick-me-up. And it's also cleansing, and it helps to promote the lymph drainage. Yeah, so it's good for the lymphatic system. Lemon, peppermint, those two together.
And that's a beautiful smell too. Not just on what you're gonna get, but together, that
Oh,
fragrant, that's a nice aroma. Yes. Yeah.
yes.
Yes.
Very, very stimulating.
Yes.
Peppermint
Yes.
and lemon.
Soothing.
Lemon is
Yes.
bright, it's citrusy, so it has that, it smells really good. And then the peppermint with that energizing, that stimulation.
Mm, yes.
Great,
Because stress,
great nation.
stress and eating interferes with the lymphatic system.
Right.
Because when we it's going like the veins and arteries, there's always going to be interstitial fluid. We have to be mindful of this. So when we get to that area of the body where that diffusion happens and that material is released from the arteries, it's not all going to be picked up. That's what the lymphatic system does. So the more material we introduce, the more the lymphatic system has to clean up. So a food-based solution isn't the best solution. I'm not necessarily going to say it's not going to work, but it's not according to how our lymphatic system works. That's the longest, the hardest. Because if you don't eat, what we might call fasting, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's no material, there's less material in the arteries. So when the arteries get to the capillaries, there's less material in that interstitial space. So
Right.
there's less material for the lymphatic system to pick up and move, right? So
Right.
listen. So if you got a weak lymphatic system, the less material you put in, water, even water,
Mm-hmm.
because especially water, then the less your lymphatic system has to do. Now it can rest and repair,
So, Brother
right?
Sean, what would you
Yes.
say for a person that does move, but you see that swelling in the feet, the ankles? Um, what's causing that?
They're not moving enough.
Okay.
You're not moving enough. I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
I'll be going. It'll be certain times of the day where I can see it starting to collect in my feet, and my feet will look bigger than
Mm-hmm.
it started during the day.
Right.
But then once I backtrack and I look at, okay, it's not did I move at that time? Is am I always moving? Because being sedentary is we sit for 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. Once we get to that 15 minute mark of sitting and not moving, that's when we start to have all of the systems start to shut down because we're made of joints, ligaments, and tendons that made to move. You feel what I'm saying? So especially during the day, nighttime is something different,
Mm-hmm.
but during the day, we're supposed to be moving as much as possible. And it's
Right.
just a simple, if it is swole, you do the flex. You start at your toes, flex the toes, wiggle them, couple of minute or two, 30 to 60 seconds. Then you go to your rest of your feet, then you wiggle your ankles. Same thing like I'm doing with if you got that swelling in your hands, you start at the tip because the lymphatic system is starting here. So you want to move all of that. So if you're massaging, you don't want to massage down. The lymphatic system is trying to get here to the right and the left side of our subclavian veins. That's the interest point, right where the jugular vein and the subclavian vein is like an L on both sides. So right bam, right? Right there. That's the least amount of pressure for the lymphatic system to infuse and bring material back. So when we're looking, we don't want to go down. Like if I don't want to go this way. I'm going this way. Yes, I got hair on my arms, and the hair on my arms don't go this way. The hair on my legs, they don't go up. So when I'm doing a massage, it feels like I'm going against the grain. It feels more natural for me to go because the grain of my hair is going that way. But my lymphatic system, I remind myself to hold up, bam, you're going up. So if I'm feeling something, because I'm going this way and I'm trying to bring that here, everything in the head is coming down to right here. The right side is coming right here. So my arm, bam. Everything else from the lower body is coming to the thoracic duct. So I'm trying to move everything here. And then once it gets here, now it's going to, but that's the route. Once we understand that, we can easily take charge of this post in all temple property and view. Walk my post in a perfect manner. Keep always on the alert.
Right. Sister Brandy asks, why especially water? You said something about especially water.
Because the interstitial fluid is water. Lymph means water like. The word lymph, it means water like because lymphatic fluid is watery fluid. So when we look at where that capillary meets and what's coming off of the arteries, that interest is fluid. Yes, it's some food in there, but it's fluid. So that's what edema is. You know what I mean? That fluid is, it has a chance to build up and build up and build up, right? So because it's always going to be interstitial fluid.
Okay.
It's always going to be. I'm sorry. Go ahead, sis.
Sorry about that. She asks, once it gets to the subclavian vein, what happens next?
The heart. Everything the veins go to the heart. So when you look at that vena cava, so with the right, I didn't even know I had this model. I'm sorry. So the right there is where the lymphatic system is trying to get to. See that where this jugular and the subclavian veins meet at? So once it meets there, all venous flow is going to the heart. All venous flow is going to the heart from the vena cava, superior, inferior, right? So that's and from the heart, it's being circulated throughout the body. But that's the flow of our lymphatic system. So because we hear, and I really wanted to go into this show because, like I say, we hear about all of these things that's going on, and like I say, this is where the heart is. So if we're looking at that heart and that artery as it's sitting there, so all blood flow, the inferior vena cava is connected. This goes through that goes through the liver, and it's that blood is filtered by the liver before it goes to the heart. But everything that's coming down and from here, it goes straight to the heart. So we look at the introduction of the lymphatic fluid, it's going into the veins. That vein flow is right there. Bam. It's going right to the heart. It doesn't even have nowhere else to flow to. Bam. And then from there, as we look inside of that heart cavity, bam. The deoxygenated blood, the CO2 is going to the lungs for us to breathe out, and the other material is being dispersed. But that's the beautiful thing about our body is it's not really complicated. It's more complex than complicated because it's a easy peasy system that once we just like we just discussed right here in this little bit of short time, like yes, it's deeper. Of course, we could have went deeper because it affects a lot of the body. But when we look at what the lymphatic system does, it only has those three major functions: to prevent edema, immune responses, and digestion, because lipids, dietary fats are ported in the lymphatic vessel called the lacteal. And knowing this, now we look at, okay, sitting too long, eating, drinking too much, right? When you get that waterlogged sensation, that's the lymphatic system. We feeling that then, right? We overflowing on that. We overdoing the lymphatic system. And stress. So we look at stress shuts off the body. Because in fight or flight, you don't need your lymphatic system in fight or flight. So the body will shut the lymphatic system down because it's using all energy for that stress response.
Right.
So out of all of the things on the planet Earth, aromatherapy will help you get up and go. It will help you to curb your appetite. It'll help you to control, manage, prevent, eliminate your stress.
That's right.
Come on, that's your lymphatic health.
Top benefits, de-stressor.
That's the lymphatics. All the things that interfere with your lymphatic system, you can control with the aromatherapy.
I'm trying to tell y'all.
Come on, man, because it's no other solution.
That's right.
If you take a herb, you drink some tea, that tea is going to create interstitial waste. It's going because all of it cannot be all of the bodily fluid cannot be transported in the arteries and veins. There's always going to be interstitial fluid. That's the number one job of the lymphatic system. So if you're eating and drinking, that's going to always keep your lymphatic system busy. If you want to rest it and give it health, fasting. You want to control your appetite, Sister DeNise.
Peppermint. Peppermint helps with your satiety. Helps you to control your appetite. Grapefruit essential oil is good for appetite, curbing those cravings.
Mm-hmm.
And it's good for the lymphatic system. It stimulates the flow. Ginger as well, ginger essential oil.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes, helps improve circulation of the lymphatic system. Sister Brandy, do I make the oils? I don't make them, but I do have a website where I sell the oils.
And you gotta, because it's not easy to make them, because you need a lot. It's not that it's not easy. It's easy to make them. You just need so much to make a little bit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like especially like roses.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
That's why rose oil is such an expensive oil. Need thousands of pounds of rose petals just to get a 5 milliliter bottle of oil. You're welcome, sis. I'll send you my website.
Because I've experimented with making. You can get the machine like they have.
Yeah, they have the distillers that you can make them.
Mm-hmm. And I experimented, but it's just like you say, if you don't have that enormous amount, and that's where it's like you can know quality versus cut, the ones that are cut. It takes a lot to make a little bit. So they just be like with $1. Like they got a 30 milliliter for $1.99. That's almost guaranteed to be not good. You know what I mean? Because you're
It's
not even break. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah,
diluted with something. It's not
yeah, yeah,
just the
yeah,
pure essential oil.
yeah, 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 yeah. And you don't know what it's going to do to you.
Right,
That's the because the peppermint has no you unless you're allergic to a particular plant because you could some people are allergic to certain plants. There's no side effects to essential oils.
right,
Oh, topical if you because they're hot, cold, and you apply one of them heating ones to your skin without a carrier oil, you might get a different sensation. But other than that, there's no it made me sick and it killed me. No. No, no, no,
exactly.
no. You know, so that's the beauty of it though. You know what I mean? Like for me, and as one who I use it in almost every aspect of my life, man. And it's like, yeah,
Me as
yeah,
well.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Good
I buy
evening,
them.
Danielle.
Yeah, hey, God, I'm sorry, what you say, God?
No, I was just greeting our listeners. Danielle on YouTube, thank you for tuning in. Sister Brandy, Sister Akila, thank you for joining us, Brother Kente.
We definitely appreciate you guys.
Thank you all. Appreciate you all. Share the
Yes.
video, show the love.
Hmm.
Yes.
We trying to be healthy. We trying to be not just healthy, because your body, we want to live as long as we want to live. All that other stuff, man, should just be along the way. But the ultimate goal, we should be talking about lifespan because that's up to us whether we accept it or not or can
Right.
understand it. Right. Right.
Yes. As you
And we
said,
have the book. Yeah.
that's all up to you.
Hey, man, because we have the like, and I don't, and the things that I learned, well, you know, when I was in school, sis. So the things that I learned weren't just private knowledge. It wasn't just a one-on-one teaching. I was in class. Like, so I got books. I got, you know, like, so it's, and I wasn't in the first class. This information has been around. So the science, when we look at anatomy and physiology, and we hear people like the Honorable Elijah Muhammad says there's no set time for us to die. That's anatomy and physiology because your
Right.
heart, you don't have a certain amount of heartbeats. You know what I mean? Like you don't have a certain amount of breaths. It's what you do that will determine how long your heart beat and how many breaths your body can take.
Right.
People that are didn't take care of themselves, right? They put their body in a condition where it's weak. On the deathbed, the body still fights for breath.
Right.
You feel, like so just think you like look at that. Like it's designed to live.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Gotta
Body is designed to live, man. All of
take
that foolishness that you gotta die. Yeah, you're right. But I'm just saying, your body is designed to live because everybody that's died, their body wasn't ready to die. Their body was still fighting for life, man.
wow. Yeah. How long do you want to live?
Exactly. And your lymphatic system is needed
in the motions and activities of life. That's why it's there. You know what I mean? So
Right.
when we understand what it's there for, its purpose, now and we live accordingly, and we have a perfectly operating lymphatic system, how you gonna die?
Right. Pick the time you want to go
I'm just
versus
asking on a scientific
having
level. Yeah.
issues. Yeah.
If you have a functioning immune system, a functioning nervous system, a functioning respiratory system, cardiovascular, how you gonna die? I mean, like if we improve these systems, and they're not, it doesn't cost anything to improve these systems. It's mostly a matter of me being able to control my emotions and not stressing myself out because I eat. Most of us emotionally eat, stressful eating, angry eating. We're
Right.
reacting eating,
Yes.
right? I did this, now I'm hungry.
Right.
It's lunchtime, I'm hungry. You like so aromatherapy.
It's 4 o'clock. I'm hungry. Don't really be.
But when we look, some of us we can't even get off of that cycle. We want to get off. But we get in the action. We've been doing it so much. It's muscle memory. It's learned behavior. So we find our bodies moving, and we're not even thinking about the action. Then
Right.
we get,
On
oh shit.
autopilot. Yeah.
If you got aromatherapy and you got one of them essential oils diffused, I guarantee you it'll break that autopilot.
Right.
I guarantee you. I guarantee you it will break that autopilot.
Absolutely. Rise above emotions.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what
Get
that's
out
what
of flight or flight.
that's what
Rest
I'm
and
talking
get
about.
into rest and digest.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
The aromatherapy solution, y'all.
Mm-hmm. 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 Anger, lack of motion, overeating, and overdrinking. The four major impairments to your lymphatic system. Aromatherapy will help you to control your stress, your anger, your emotions. They will help you to get up and motivate you to move something. And they will help you to curb your appetite where you think you're hungry. It might just because you are emotionally driven.
Mm, right. Emotionally hijacked.
Ooh, there we go. There we go.
Yes, sir.
So moving forward, our brothers and sisters, when you hear about somebody talking about lymphatic health, and they're not talking about getting up and moving and exercising, they might not. If they're talking about the lymphatic system is a garbage can and the garbage system, they might not kind of know what they're talking about. If
Right.
they want to offer you a supplement or a food or an herb or this, they might not know what they're talking
Wow. That's right. Awesome.
about. Ain't that
Awesome.
something?
Yes. Giving
And
you
what
more
was the
things
oils you went
to
over tonight?
stop. Lemon oil,
Uh-huh.
lemon, peppermint, and grapefruit. Lemon helps, yeah, gives you that upliftment, helps you to get up and move. It's very motivating, stimulating, cleansing. It helps to with the drainage actually of the lymphatic system. Promotes lymph drainage.
Lymph drainage.
Peppermint helps with your satiety, helps you to manage those cravings. Also, to uplifting, stimulating, get you up and moving. And grapefruit as well. It stimulates lymphatic flow.
That's that satiety. That's the word.
Right.
True. That's the determining factor right there.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's what we're gonna break down our next show. That's it. Oh, man, that's the key, to really the health and wellness, man. The appetite and all that stuff. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be a good topic for next week.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's summertime. The only thing, you know what, I don't like about this time of the year? The bugs are back, man.
Oh yeah.
See that first fly, you be like, God, like, y'all back again? Yeah, dang, man. You know.
Let's see if we had any more questions in the chat.
Oh yeah, yes, ma'am. We appreciate you, Sister Brandy.
Absolutely. Oh, Brother Kente said, I didn't see his. Did you ever go to medical school to become a so-called professional doctor? I believe you'll make an awesome doctor, sir.
Yeah, but holistic back in 2016, there was only 3 places I could have went for my PhD, and that was at the same time that I became a single father. So, I just couldn't do it, and then I ran out of student loan. Because I went through several choices before I found my last school. So I went through psychology, and then I was like, okay, bam, that's not it. But that was a couple thousand on a student loan. Then I went to another, and it was like, that's not it. That was another couple thousand. Then I found the one that my health and wellness.
Right.
And it was like, bam. Then I had my cosmetology license was also through student. That was 20,000 right there. So by the time I finished with the bachelor's of science, I didn't have a lot left to do a PhD. So kind of took
Yes, sir. But
it's all good. I mean, the only thing that the only benefit or difference is they write prescriptions. So and that's the hustle though, because that now you got that relationship with the pharmaceutical companies and such and such and such.
Right.
But that's the main difference between right. But that's the difference between you go and get your PhD versus not having it.
Right.
You're right. Yeah.
Yes, sir. All right, family. We're gonna wrap it up. What did you say our topic is next week?
Yeah. We're going on that satiety. Are you satisfied? Man, yeah. Are you satisfied?
Right. All right. Well, this was a good topic.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
I haven't done anything in a while, man. So it felt really good to realize that I hadn't missed a beat, because I literally hadn't done anything since our last video and whatever was on this board that I did.
Right.
So that was months. That was before Ramadan. You know what I mean? So it felt. I was nervous, but it felt kind of good. And I'm glad we do what we do, and I'm glad that y'all do what y'all do, man. So
Right.
yeah.
Thank you all for tuning in, everyone. We're going to put a pin in it right there. And inshallah, we'll be back again next week, same time, same channel, for another episode of the Health and Wellness Power Hour. And you all, I'll put the link for the essential oils in the comments. And you all take care and enjoy the rest of your evening. Peace and blessings to you.